Welcome to Lesson 1. Saludos y diálogo básico. When we talk about greetings in Spanish, we have to know that Spanish uses two types of register depending on the situation. Register refers to the scale of formality that we use when we address someone. These two registers are called formal and informal or familiar registers, and they are pretty self-explanatory. One is for formal situations, and the other one is for informal situations. Since Spanish has two ways of addressing someone, we have two ways of saying you. The formal way is usted, and the informal way is tú. Now, in what context will we use each one? A rule of thumb is using usted with elderly people, bosses, people you don't know very well, your professors, and in professional situations. The connotation of usted is of distance and respect. That doesn't mean tú is disrespectful. Tú is the you that you use with friends, close colleagues, family, pets, and in contexts where you want to appear more friendly. For example, in a relaxed party. Now let's take a look at some greetings in Spanish. I advise you to repeat the phrases I will be saying. First we have buenos días. Again, buenos días. Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. Buenas noches. Buenas noches. A more informal greeting is hola. Hola. Now let's pretend you're meeting someone for the first time in your study abroad program in Spain. You are at a party and you want to practice your Spanish. You see someone sitting on a couch by themselves. How will you greet them? You will probably say, hola. Now, don't sit there quietly. Say something else. Let's say you want to say what your name is. The way of saying that is me llamo, and then your name, me llamo Andrea. Or mi nombre es, and then your name, mi nombre es Andrea. But never me llamo es. This is a very common, embarrassing mistake that many casual learners of Spanish make. So learn the right way to say what your name is. Now it's your turn to ask them what their name is. So you ask, ¿Cómo te llamas tú? How will this person reply to this question? We just saw this. The person will say me llamo and then their name, or mi nombre es and then their name. Now you want to ask the person how they're doing. The way to ask is ¿Cómo estás tú? Tú here is optional, as you can see by the parentheses. ¿Cómo estás? Or ¿Cómo estás tú? To this question, there are many types of answers we could give. For example, estoy bien, estoy mal, estoy regular. You can say estoy triste, estoy feliz. So the person replies, estoy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? So how will you answer this question? Think about the answers we just saw. ¿Cómo estás tú? You notice the person that you're talking to has a hint of an accent. You're wondering if they're also a foreign student. So you want to ask where they're from. You ask, ¿De dónde eres tú? And let's say the person, he or she, replies, Yo soy de Italia. Then the person asks you, ¿De dónde eres tú? How will you answer this question? Since you got such excellent manners, you're going to say, Mucho gusto. Or, if you prefer, encantado if you're a guy, or encantada if you're a girl. The person replies, igualmente. We just saw basic dialogue in an informal situation, a relaxed party. But how will these questions sound like in a formal situation? Let's take a look. We have, ¿Cómo te llamas tú? Remember that tú here is optional. What's your name? ¿Cómo estás? How are you? ¿De dónde eres? Where are you from? Now, were we to ask these questions formally, they will look a little different. Please pay attention to the difference between asking these questions informally or formally. So we have, ¿Cómo se llama usted? What's your name? ¿Cómo está usted? How are you? ¿De dónde es usted? Where are you from? Pay attention to the difference in both questions because one is informal and the other one is formal. So note the differences in the spelling of some of these words. Practice saying these phrases out loud in order to hear the differences and set them to memory. You will be tested on this type of simple dialogue, so you must be able to distinguish informal from formal dialogue. Now, if you're addressing someone in a formal setting, it's likely that you will use honorifics. Honorifics are courtesy titles we use when addressing someone formally. These are some honorifics in Spanish. Señor is for an older married man. Señora is for a married woman. Señorita is for a young woman who isn't married. Unfortunately, no one cares if a man is unmarried or not. So there isn't an honorific for single men. Sorry. Now, what are some ways of saying goodbye in Spanish? We have a few. We have hasta luego, hasta mañana, nos vemos, adiós, adiós. And then we have the more informal, chao. Now here are some courtesy words that you will find in conversation. Please repeat. Gracias, de nada, disculpe, lo siento. Now let's do a little practice. If someone greeted you with Buenos Dias, what will be the correct response? 1, 2, or 3? Someone said mucho gusto. What will be the correct response in this case? Someone said, ¿Cómo te llamas? What will be the correct response? Someone asked, ¿De dónde es usted? What will be the correct response? Now, if someone says gracias to you, what are you going to respond? If you aren't sure what the answer is for some of these, or for all of these, or for any of these, make sure to email me asking me, okay? Are these phrases formal or informal? Pay attention. Are they using the formal you or the informal you? That's all for lesson 1.